That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Over the last, I don't know, 18, 20 months or so, it seems like the narrative of companies hiring has gone just ridiculously out the roof, whatever the saying is. And it seems like every company in the world is struggling finding people, no matter the industry. There's more jobs than ever. It's unclear to me why some staffing issues are happening. And I know that's a very broad and general statement, but when you hear something like that, like companies are struggling to hire, your restaurants can't bring staff back in, I guess all the delivery companies are now fighting over employees. Is there anything that you just have generally seen as to why you think we're seeing this, or is it just the media taking a headline and going with it, kind of spinning the wrong way?
I mean, I think that the pandemic was an awakening for people about what's important. And I think people started to value their time more. And this transitions with Happily, like when we talk to companies, they understand that the best thing they can do is take care of the people they have. And that's why they're interested in benefits like ours, right? It's like, how do you enable people's lives outside of work so they can be happier and then be more productive when they're at work and feel like their employer cares about them? And it's the same thing with hiring. Like, you have to have benefits that are competitive because people are not interested in being somewhere where people don't care about them. And benefits are just one more indicator that you care.
Yeah, it really does seem like the market, I mean, timing has so much to do with everything. And the market is really coming to you in the sense of, especially with the younger workforce. I mean, happiness, mental health, all of that.
Yeah.
People are willing, as if they have that, it's not necessarily about paying them. I mean, sure, people want to get paid, but maximizing pay or maximizing other benefits is not as important.
Right.
You know, people really want to work, have a purpose, be happy doing what they're doing, be proud of what they're doing. And, so from that standpoint, I think that timing wise and the market is really coming to you. So, have you found the same thing?
I mean, I think if you can find a silver lining from a really hard and terrible last 2 years for our country and for the world, like that's where I find it in Happily, is that like people are at least listening and understanding like that's important to take care of people. They're listening and understanding that mental health is a big deal. And that there's an opportunity for companies, instead of just pretending it doesn't happen and separating work and life, saying, okay, how do I take care of the whole person? Or at least how do I offer solutions that could help them take care of themselves?
Because that's interesting, because I think a lot of corporations, even maybe a lot of smaller businesses, wouldn't invest in the wellness of their staff, use some time off, I'll be a good employee. But I think what you're saying is it's a lot more than that now. And there are companies who had been evolving over the years to fix that. Zappos is one that really comes to mind.
Yeah.
From many years ago, but really instilling that now, that it's not just about collecting this paycheck every 2 weeks. It's not just about living for the weekend and stuff like that. Like there is more to that. How have you started, continued, or are thinking about kind of explaining that and kind of turning that switch on people who might not have lived that kind of business life before, now realizing like, what the heck am I going to do? Like, I'm still a good company. I guess I just can't hire people. So like, how are you getting people to realize that this is something they need to think about, invest in, etc.?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. And I will talk to anybody that will listen around why I think this is important. But what we had to do in our sales strategy is actually stop working with people that I had to convince, because there was so much business. Like, there were 80% of the companies know that this is a problem and know this is something they need to address and know that this is something they should care about. And the 20% that don't are going to slowly lose their employees over time. And I hope that we will have an opportunity to help them someday. But if you think about highest and best use, and just as a startup, like that wasn't my highest and best use. So we actually have a criteria for any company we talk about. If they do not publicly share that they have an interest in wellness and they haven't shown that they've invested in wellness solutions in the past, we don't even go through a sales cycle with them.
It's the bell curve effect, right? Where like I
Mhm.
think so many people will try because they think, oh, this customer in quadrant 4 it should be my customer, yet they don't
Mhm.
have they have no interest in working with you. So you try to convince them, and then
Yeah.
really just focusing on kind of the early adopters, the champions, and maybe those that are leeching onto that. Leeching's the wrong word, but
Yeah.
pulling from that, like that's a great strategy, and I think more people need to really recognize that if you're trying to convince this person and
Mhm.
you're just a startup, an early stage business, like you might never pull that person the way that you want to, and you could waste a lot of time, resources, money, everything.
And I did, like, I'll tell you, like, I wasted my time on companies who didn't understand, or maybe it wasn't a waste of time, but I learned through that time. And we just like put a hard stop on it and said, no more. Like, it's not, we don't have the luxury of wasting time, and we don't want to, right? Like, we're offering something that like big companies are already buying. Let's find more of those people that get it.
I just can't help but smile. I mean, that's just, I mean, because it's just so important. I mean, I so many companies that I have worked with, I mean, they're just chasing the dollar, and because they just need that revenue to survive. And so often it's not the right customer. And it's like, you're going to spend 80% of your time trying to please this customer when they weren't the right customer anyway.
Yeah.
And so well
Right? Do you have
done.
is that okay? So you said that they are openly talking about wellness. That's your criteria now. Is that
Right.
easy for people to see? Like, is like their Twitter
It's
says
all
that?
over. I
Yeah.
mean, it's all over. They're covered in best places to work articles. They talk about it. It's on their website. It's on their benefits page. I
Core
mean,
values.
core values, yeah. And for us, like, I mean, we're selling through companies because that is a business channel that makes sense, and it is a group we know, and we know it's a way to get in touch and get in people's lives. At the end of the day, like, our dream is to like have a remarkable impact on this cohort of children, that because their parents took them outside and got them into the outdoors and taught them an active lifestyle, that we're going to see like a decrease in depression in 10 years. So like for us, like, our dream is so much bigger than like selling corporate subscriptions. Like, it's about changing people's lives.
Is that because they're so attached to their phones and all that other stuff? I mean, is there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I mean, and I just think if you can, I mean, I'm the mom of like a magical little girl who just turned 6 years old, right? And all I want is for her to have every skill to be able to be happy herself in whatever that is in the world. And I think that having these tools in your toolkit around having an active lifestyle, whether that's a hike or a walk or a bike ride or whatever it is, and not relying on your phone or validation from other people or whatever, sets her up for success in the world. So I've gone way too deep now, but that's
No, but even from adults, there's like
yeah.
it. Is it pheromones? I don't know what the word is. There's
Dopamine.
something, dopamine, something like that. Yeah. So like when you work out, that release is there. My guess, not a scientist, not a doctor. I just play a host on TV Thursdays at 11 o'clock right here on the greatest show ever, according to Caitlin. Thank you.
Super fun show.
So there's, what do you call it, Tim? Dopamine. So like you release dope. Is that what you call it? You work out, dopamine goes out, stuff like that. My guess is if you hand a kid, I don't have kids. If you hand a kid a phone to watch something, they're not releasing what it is to get out there. When they go on a walk, they throw the baseball, they get a lacrosse stick and they throw the ball against the garage. I'm sure that is a lot more helpful to them getting and releasing that out. So
and releasing the endorphins in terms of when you're being physically fit, and like the social media aspect that Caitlin was getting to. I mean, like if you're validating your life based on the number of likes, every like could be a little shot of dopamine that gives you.
And they do say that there is that, which is
for sure
quite troubling.
It's really different. Like, I can tell you, like, when I go to yoga or I go on a run or I go outside with my daughter, the amount of joy that gives me and the amount of like happiness that I can't get from anything else. Like, you don't get that from social media. If you guys haven't read it, there's Cal Newport wrote a book about like digital detox and like kind of how dangerous it is, like the attachment to social media. I will tell you, like, I erased Instagram from my phone. Like, it's really scary stuff.
Yeah.
How dare you? You took Instagram off your phone. That's terrible. You have some love in the crowd today.
Thank you.
Brian Wells says you did a great job at 1 million cups yesterday.
Thank you, Brian.
3 claps. Brian, come on, man. Give her 4 claps. Like,
hi, Brian.
Erica,
nice to see you.
2-time guest on the show. Hey, Caitlin, 4 exclamation points because she knows what's up.
Erica is amazing. Founder of Instant Teams.
She was great. Trivia question. What was Instant Teams before it was Instant Teams?
Oh my gosh. I'm so embarrassed not to know.
Yes. Tim?
Matt Skills.
Bam. And Tim and I both have hoodies that were given to us via Erica. I'm not wearing mine right now because I'm rocking my Happy Veterans Day shirt. Shout out Positive Vibration. Shout out to Sean Evangelista, 31 Seconds Out, who created this company. Former Navy, I guess you're always a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL, I don't know, who now lives in Idaho, which my guess is you've been to Idaho. Where's Jackson? Jackson, Wyoming?
Yeah, we're right there.
There you go. So we also have, so Erica says that they just launched a Happily pilot with our remote team members on Instant Teams. Raise the roof. Happy families make happy teams.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Erica gets it. She does. Right. And her team is amazing.
They are great. 500 plus team members now. It's fantastic. So I'm interested just from the crowd that's watching, where are your favorite what are your favorite things to do outside in general? There it is. 4 claps.
4 claps.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
That makes it a lot more important. And he also says that personal, why explain the reason you created this platform really connected with folks. So that's great. I guess that was from 1 million cups yesterday. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Tim?
But it's interesting though, like if I'm stressed out or if I know I got a big day or if I'm mad or angry about something, when I go out for a run, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, when I come back from that run, I don't even remember what it was that I was stressed or angry about. I mean, it's just completely gone. And it's just that's my outlet. And then, part of my daily routine every morning is to get out there and I run. And I just, from a mental standpoint, I'm ready to take on the world as soon as I'm done with it. And so much so on the other token, if I get a late start on a run, that pressure just starts to, I have to get out there and release all of that energy.
Yeah. And I think everybody's got to find their thing. And I think when life gets busy and you have kids and sometimes maybe a run doesn't work because they don't want to go with the stroller anymore or whatever, like there's so many different activity types that give you a piece of that. And so like our goal is like, how do you make sure people understand that there's so many options?
So in the last 2 years, at-home gyms have become very, very popular. It sounds like maybe people are going back to the gyms a little bit too, so it's slowed down a little bit. But your things like a Peloton, your Nordic Tracks, things like that, your Zwifts, your Hydros. The what, Tim?
Hydro.
Yeah, Hydros of the world. Do you find that working out in a situation like that, in an environment like that, gets the same love that you're looking for from that release to get out? Or do you think that people actually need to get out of a physical 4-box unit?
No, my husband is diehard about our Peloton and he works out every day. And we also do something as a family outside every day.
Who's his favorite instructor?
I actually don't know. Yeah.
Who's your favorite instructor?
I don't know.
Zach?
I'm still trying to figure out. So I got a Peloton a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I like certain people and then I hate their music. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't want to so every once in a while I'll be like, that was a great 20-minute set.
Yeah.
But I haven't done I think the longest Peloton I've done is 30 minutes. Which, by the way, I very quickly understood why they're very popular. Like it's
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an incredible machine. And yeah, it's Tim has a Hydro, which is a rowing Peloton basically. So yeah, I mean, that whole environment is ridiculous. Do you use the Peloton?
I do like a 20-minute Tabata ride once in a while. I don't have a favorite. I just, I'm much more of I'm a hot yoga person if I'm doing like my own workout thing, or I love to walk outside and sometimes run.
So what advice do you give or is this part of the platform? What somebody that wants to get started and how do you give that advice, or what advice do you give that person that wants to get started with something? I mean, like they've always wanted to try hot yoga, but they don't necessarily know what's the first step, or they know they need to go and find that happiness somewhere. What's the first step that you give somebody?
Yeah, I mean, we're not solving for the whole fitness industry, right? Like Peloton and hot yoga, like those are their own wonderful things.
Sure.
Happily is a way to help people get outside with their families and to have it be really approachable. I think that, when I was doing research for when Hannah was little and I was like, why is this so hard? It's not for a lack of content. It's just like, it's disjointed and you'd go to 10 websites to figure out one playground or one hike to go on. And so we just wanted to take what is already available in the technology world and bring it to the family space and say to families, like, let's take away some of the friction around you getting outside by providing recommendations that are personalized to your family, to your needs, to how far you want to travel from your house, to make that one thing off your list so that you could just go and enjoy your people and get off your screen.
And how do you curate the different places to go?
So we have 80 ambassadors across the country who create content. These are moms, these are dads, these are people who are micro influencers in their community, and we're already doing good things in the world. And we've given them a way to monetize their work and to come and be part of our platform. We have a really tight process around what types of things we add to our platform, how they get in there, how they get moderated. Our editor-in-chief and my co-founder does an exceptional job making sure that our users have a consistent experience, whether they're in their hometown or traveling, with really high quality content.
Awesome.
Certainly, as you can imagine, we have some technology around how that works and how it gets personalized and all that good stuff.
So is it safe to say an editor-in-chief, is this really a big media play as well? Where like, and I know that might be a weird word, but like media as in like a distribution of material, not like your historical, like, your ABC or NBC type of thing, but like this is a new positive spin on a wellness spin of getting material out to the people that need to hear it so that they have more positive reinforcements than, hey, by the way, this person, if you think about what your standard stuff would be on kind of your historical media, like where do you...
Yeah, I mean, we're really careful to steer clear of being an advice platform.
Okay.
Like we are a place to come for actionable, quick bites of things to do that are like real and in your community and accessible, low to no cost, because I'd really believe that parents shouldn't have to spend a lot of money to do awesome things with their kids, or people, like there's just so much available in our communities. So when you go to Happily, you can find activities, and those range from hiking and biking to swimming and playgrounds. And there's like 10 categories. And so you can just really quickly find information that's been vetted, that's good. You don't have to worry about junk because we only add things we like to the site or to the app. And so it's really like, our idea is like, if you can get people information in under 60 seconds so that they can get out into the world, then we're succeeding.
Take us